We also use the current economic and political situation, going out, doing some additional PR, and ask about 2,000 of our clients, which are mainly international clients, are you changing anything due to the ruble devaluation? If you look at unfortunately, I have a ruble salary, and in euro terms, it's dropped more than 20% in the last half a year, which may have prompted a lot of our clients, we thought, rethinking their budgets for this year and bumping up salaries higher than they had already participated. The budgeted salary increases for this year, for those people who were doing their budgets at the end of last year, were something in the regions of between 5 and 7% in ruble terms. We asked our clients, are you going to increase salaries higher now? And unfortunately, I have to tell you that 80% of those international companies said, well, there's not going to be any additional pay rise just because the ruble has come down. That's a bit of the poor news about tonight. Next slide is, we asked them as well, are you going to do any job freezes? Are you going to lay off more people because of the current political situation? As you can see, 62% of companies are fairly optimistic, still saying, well, we're not going to change anything, we're not going to lay off more people because of the situation. However, there is probably every fifth company who is thinking about not hiring as many people as they were planning to. Mainly this concerns also companies. We do a lot of startup businesses in Russia that have put their plans on hold. If we're talking about current investment, those companies that are already here, they are going on. Those companies who are thinking of entering the Russian market at the moment are putting these things on hold. Let's go on. If a company is going to reduce staff, where are they going to do it? You can see by the colors the main business unit. So if you're in production, it'd be production. If you are in selling something, it'd be in sales. And then obviously the support functions would be covered as well, finance and accountancy. Marketing and HR would be the areas affected in those 20% of companies that are going to cut. Next slide, please. Freezing vacancies, not putting them into the market. Again, 60% of companies said we're not going to do that, which is pretty positive news in those current market surroundings. Let's go on. About statistics, I don't know if that's going to be seen in the last rows. Our good old friends from Headhunter, which is the biggest Russian job board. I think it's always a good indicator to see what's going on in general in the market. If you see the overall number of jobs in Russia over the last 5 months is growing. The main markets where we're seeing the biggest increases are the banking market, marketing roles, and IT roles, which are still the driver of our economy, where we're seeing the biggest amount of vacancies flying in. If you look at Ukraine and Kazakhstan, which have had a much tougher ride this year so far, you know that our colleagues in Kazakhstan didn't have the luxury of a 3 or 4 months gradual devaluation of the ruble, but they did it overnight in a 25% decrease. There, it's looking a bit more dire, where the number of vacancies is actually coming down, but not by a very significant amount. We would have expected this to be much steeper reductions, which hasn't happened. Next slide, please. Again, we ask about every year our candidates. There's about 120,000 people, mid to senior level candidates that usually work in international businesses. What are the main trends? And the main trends in this market are that people are very much interested in international careers. They are ready to move out of Russia into other countries and do some stints in the UK, in Germany, in other European countries, in the US as well. Also, there seems to be quite a bit of job security. Even though there might be companies out there laying off people, the majority of our candidates are actually feeling fairly stable in their jobs. And employer branding, which has been one of the key terms in the last couple of years, 72% of respondents would recommend their employer to friends. And if we're talking about the number of people actually looking for a job, at this moment in time, we are talking about every fourth person. So if I went through the market, I think you mentioned that about 100 people in this room tonight, 25%, 25 of us, not going to go around and count 1 to 4, are actually in the job market and are ready to do something else. As you can see here, this is 2013. We've just, like last week, finished the survey for this year. It's dropped from 30% to 25%, but is still quite a staggering number of people who are, despite the current economic situation, interested and looking around for a new job.